Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are Florida.
After hitting that speed bump 3 times in Washington, the Marlins are home. And the Phillies are here. It's a 4-gamer, and Miami needs to get back to business. JT Realmuto. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm not sure what promotion that is, but here we go. Miguel Rojas and the Fish need wins. And the Phillies are here for 4. Rhys Hoskins, the hottest hitter on the planet. Freddie Galvis and the rest of the Phillies are here. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Todd Hollinsworth. So, as a player, how do you handle it? Marlins had such a great run. They hit Washington, D.C., lost 3 in a row.
No, you don't worry about it. You don't freak out about a bad series in D.C. The Nats are a good baseball team. You're going to run into them again. You're going to see them again later this homestand. I don't think there's anything to worry about. You got to come home and take care of business against a team that you're better than. In every statistical category, you're better than the Philadelphia Phillies. What's that tell you? Well, 2-2 is not good enough. You're starting to think 3-1 or go for 4 out of 4. You got to start making up ground in this wild card right now.
All right, the standings right now, if you take a look at where the Marlins are in that wild card, here's a look. The Fish are 5.5 back. The Brewers have been playing well lately. They are 3 back. Arizona has been dominating the Dodgers, and they did that again today. So, you know what? This is the last day of August. Giancarlo's had a great month, right? Well, September 1 brings call-ups. The Marlins are in need of help in their rotation, and they're going to get it from a lefty named Dylan Peters, one of their top prospects. He's here. His debut is tomorrow.
Well, it's going to be exciting for him. Listen, it matters, right? This Marlins team's playing meaningful games in the month of September, so it all matters. And you see the great numbers he's had in the minor leagues. You're hoping that extends out onto the mound. So a little bit of an open competition, but good to see him get a chance.
Oh, Drismer Despaigne gets the start tonight. If it's anything like his last one, the Marlins will be thrilled.
Oh, continue to expect him to be aggressive against this Philadelphia Phillies team. The cut fastball was a great pitch. His 2-seamer was working really well. He was efficient, and he was going 6. The Marlins need that tonight from Despaigne.
On the other side of the coin, the Phillies were swept by a very hot right now Atlanta team. Ben Lively tries to get them rolling. He gets the start.
Yeah, he's been impressive for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's making his 10th start now. His last one was a bit of a road bump. He gave up 4 homers, but he also set a personal high in strikeouts with 8. We'll see what he's got tonight.
Slugger showdown. The 2 hottest in August are here. Giancarlo, Rhys Hoskins. First of 4, Marlins and Phils. go on this Thursday night in Miami. Let's start it out in center field. Craig Minervini, Jeff Conine.
All right, Rich, good to be back home here. Marlins and the Phillies. We're going to see a lot of the Phillies again with the 7 games coming up here over the next couple of weeks here. Back here for 4, and 2 outstanding hitters are going at it. You know about Giancarlo Stanton. And if you watch the Marlins series, or you've been following baseball in August, you also know about the Phillies young slugger, First Stanton.
Well, you talk about the national spotlight. Giancarlo Stanton has actually taken hold of that this month of August and put up some alarmingly huge numbers.
Now,
look at Reese Hoskins on the other side. Philadelphia Phillies 12-game hitting streak right now with 8 homers and 20 RBIs, putting up some pretty good numbers as well. Just a rookie for the rebuilding Philadelphia Phillies.
He has reached 11 homers quicker than any player in MLB history in the first 64 at-bats. He even has 1 more homer than Stanton in the meantime. As you look at 2 scorching hitters, any other month he'd be the player of the month, but he's going to have to bow and tip his cap to the guy on the right.
Well, you talk about a shoe-in for National League Player of the Month, Giancarlo Stanton. Look at the numbers he's put up in this month of August. Absolutely earth-shattering, and MVP front-runner right now.
So it'll be interesting to watch Hoskins here in this ballpark, which obviously is a little more difficult to hit homers, but it hasn't been for that man. Giancarlo Stanton's up to 51 homers as the Marlins have played now 132 games with 30 to go in the 2017 regular season. We are set for game 1 of this 4-game series. It's the Phillies and the Fish, and it's coming up next on Fox Sports Florida.
On Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by the all-new Jeep Compass. By Supercuts, save time. Check online with our mobile app or at supercuts.com. By your local Toyota dealers, let's go places. And by Southwest Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Odrisamer Despagne on his way out to the mound as the Fish get set to take on the Phillies. Phillies lineup looks this way. Swept yesterday in a doubleheader. They did win a game in that series against the Braves. Southwest brings you Cesar Hernandez, Freddie Galvis, a couple of switch hitters to begin. Nick Williams, Hoskins in the cleanup spot, Daniel Nava off the DL, and in the 5 spot, Macau Franco at 3rd. Pedro Florimon is at center field, hitting 7th. Cameron Rupp behind the plate, and Ben Lively hits 9th.
Odrisamer Despaigne on the mound, making his second consecutive start. His last one was a good one against the Padres. 6 innings and earned run at Marlins Park this year. 12 innings, 1 earned run, 0.75 ERA. And get this, collectively, 24 innings pitched, only 1 home run allowed. So yeah, you saw Hoskins. He's been doing big time damage with the long ball. Well, he's got a foe right here who hasn't been giving up too many long balls. Lefty's 278, righty's 167.
Pete Buchanan, skipper of the Phillies, in a major rebuild mode right now. Despaigne turns and delivers. First pitch swinging is Hernandez, and he fouls it back. Now, Hernandez and the Phils have seen Despaigne. His last start, of course, was terrific against the Padres. The ramp up to that was 2 2/3 scoreless against the Phils up in Philadelphia.
A couple strikeouts that day out of the bullpen. Did give up a couple hits, but no damage, as you said, Rich. Good stuff. Cesar Hernandez hit 262 versus the Marlins this year. Does have a home run. In fact, a career high 8 home runs already this season.
It's a good top of the order. Hernandez, Galvis, Williams, and then Hoskins. Some of the young players that the Phillies hope will eventually turn into a really good team. There's help coming. Some of their top prospects are probably a week away once the minor league season is done to get their first taste to the big leagues, including J.P. Crawford and others. That one fouled at the plate. There's Williams, a guy that the Marlins have been really impressed with. You and I have seen him a bunch this year. He's a fine young player, and he's hurt Miami.
Certainly has. Big number against the Marlins this year, and at Marlins Park already has 6 hits in 3 games.
Center field, Yelich turns and glides into it, makes the catch at the track. Miami's defense tonight against the Phils.
Well, it's a familiar one for the Marlins tonight behind Odrisamer Despaigne. Here it is, your Marlins defense. First game of the homestand. Marcell Ozuna, Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton. Dietrich is at third base, Rojas at short, D. Gordon, Tyler Moore back in at first base, JT Realmuto back behind the plate with Despaigne.
Here is Freddie Galvis, who may be the Gold Glove Award winner at shortstop in the National League this year. He's that good. He's played that well. And he found himself in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday in center field, of all places. Galvis swings and misses at a breaking ball. And part of that is the arrival of Crawford. Not that Galvis is going to spend September in center, but as Crawford plays, they'd like to see him at shortstop. And obviously the Phillies would love to keep Galvis in the lineup somewhere. He can play the other 2 infield positions, but the Phillies have got guys there. Franco's a third baseman. Cesar Hernandez has played well at second, so Galvis may see a little time in the outfield in September. 0-2.
Trying to snap out of a current 0 for 11. Had a rough homestand. 6 for his last 36. Get the offense going for Galvis.
In the air, good pitch by Despaigne. Ozuna has it, and Marcell makes the catch. So 2 outs, and that brings up Williams.
That last pitch, a changeup. He throws it about 12% of the time. Despaigne will feature the 4-seam fastball, likes to move it around the zone, 92 to 94 miles an hour. Does have a sinker he'll throw occasionally. That cutter is his real go-to pitch. Throws it about 30% of the time, and you'll see it in that 86, 87 mile an hour range.
Williams takes a strike, change up. Brian Gorman calling balls and strikes. Stan Iasonia at first. Roberto Ortiz is at second. Lance Barksdale at third. And Williams fouls that off, and Despaigne with a count at 0-2. Hoskins on deck. A barrage of home runs to start his first month in the big leagues as August comes to a close tonight. Another good pitch by Despaigne. You can see just watching the 2 2/3 scoreless against the Phils, the outstanding start against the Padres. Juan Nieves, Don Mattingly, and the Marlins brass told him when he went down to New Orleans, we need you to be, there's a quick pitch, we need you to be aggressive, not finesse, not nibbling, go after hitters. You have good enough stuff to do that, and he pitched great in New Orleans, and it's translated here.
Certainly is one thing that stands out since his return. He hasn't necessarily been piling up strikeouts, but the walks are down. He has not made trouble for himself. And you look at the start here on Saturday versus the Padres, 97 pitches, only a couple of walks. That whip under 1 in that start. So good stuff. Always afford yourself a couple of walks if you're only giving up 3 hits in a game.
Both these ball clubs trying to bounce back. The Marlins in the 3 games against the Nationals were outscored 23-5.
1 for 22 with runners in scoring position will do it to you.
That's outside corner. Despaigne brings up Williams. That's an impressive start right there. 1-2-3 first for Odrisamer. Big G and the rest of the fish coming up. Yelich, Ozuna, Real Muto, Dietrich, Moore, Rojas, Despaigne. You see the run that Stanton's had in August includes a great run in this ballpark. Auto Nation scatter report after this pitch.
You saw the first pitch of the ball game, which is a lively fastball. He's got one, throws it 47% of the time. That's a 4-seamer, got a little tailing action on it, 88-92. He will hit 94. Short-term memory really is just getting back to his last start. It wasn't a good one. He got knocked around by the Cubs. Did set a career high with 8 strikeouts in 5 innings, but 4 home runs allowed, 6 earned runs. Mix it up. Curveball is his primary. Secondary pitch does have a slider and change, but you're going to see an awful lot of that fastball. Maybe that curveball throws it about 20% of the time. And here's kind of a mix-up for you. Last key. He's a fly ball pitcher. He's gotten 10 ground ball outs in 52 innings. Wow. Hard to explain, right? He's been pretty. That's what's bailed him out of a lot of trouble lately.
3-1 pitch. Gordon takes outside, and Ben Lively meet Giancarlo Stanton with a runner at first base. You can see Lively shaking his head. Stanton arrives. Giancarlo, 1 home run up in D.C. on that rainy night. Sits at 51, and of course this is the last day of August. He has 18 home runs in the month of August, and that is tied for the all-time record with Rudy York. He's 2 shy of the most homers ever in a month. Sammy Sosa with 20. Gordon at first. Let's see how Lively approaches Stanton. Fastball up and a bit in.
To put it all in perspective, he's also chasing most home runs as the #2 hitter in the lineup. In fact, he is in second place behind Eddie Matthews, who had 46 in 145 games. Stanton's done it in 85.
Check swing.
40.
Pitch misses outside. So it's 2-0 to Stanton. Outfield straight up and not too deep in center field with the Floriman. And the shift on the infield is not that extreme either. Lively's fastball is up and in, and Cameron Rupp is out for a visit.
This has been uncharacteristic for Lively. He might have some first inning jitters, if you will. 53 2/3 innings. Did give up 8 home runs on the season. Of course, 4 came in the last start. Only 17 walks.
First inning jitters or Stanton jitters?
Well, he walked D. Gordon as well, so he's struggling with the strike zone. I mean, of course, Stanton will do that to anybody, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. He's not out of the woods yet.
We've seen Stanton go after 3-0 pitches in this stretch, so be alert. Runner goes, and Stanton hits a mile-high pop-up. Cameron Rupp is out there and called off by Mikel Franco, who makes the catch. So he got the fastball on 3-0 and just missed it.
Now, we've seen this over the last couple of ball games from Stanton, just underneath the fastball to his liking. And again, it is off the barrel. Call it a home run in an elevator shaft, if you will, and you see Giancarlo's reaction to it. That's a ball that he at times has hit out this year. Just got underneath it and missed it by that much, probably a half an inch.
I like Gordon running because I think D was thinking, hey, if it's over the plate, he's going to hit it. If it's not, he's going to take it. Gordon back just in under the tag of Hoskins. We haven't seen Hoskins at first base yet. That's his natural position. Tommy Joseph getting the time at first. We've seen Hoskins out in the outfield. Doubleheader yesterday. Phils lost 2 to Atlanta. And Lively misses away. Count 1-0.
Christian Yelich doing some pretty good work in DC. 4 for 11 and a home run. Numbers. View that was producing. Marlins would love to get those bats going again here at home against the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yelich waits on a 2-0 and a strike. So a total of 12 pitches, only 3 strikes so far for the kid from Pensacola. And he had a really nice career at Central Florida. Reds took him in the 13th round, or actually the 4th round, back in 2013. Yelich liner. That's Galvis. Gordon retreats to first. Big fanatic, little fanatic. Phillies defense.
There you go. Lively tonight. Nava gets the start in left field. He's off the DL just a few days ago. Florimon gets the start in center field. Williams over in right. Franco, Galvis, Hernandez, Hoskins. Cameron Rupp behind the plate. Lively.
Marcell Ozuna. Gordon at first, though he might not be there much longer. Rupp crouched and ready behind the plate. And Lively's fastball misses outside. Ozuna had 3 hits in the Washington series. There really wasn't one hitter, except maybe D. Gordon, who had 6 hits, that was really smoking in DC.
Well, there were a few big games. JT Realmuto had a big game yesterday. Marcell had a big game in game 1. In fact, all 3 of his hits came against the Scherzer. He was perfect that day. It's kind of all or nothing for Ozuna.
That's the amazing thing. When Scherzer was so good, and so was Steven Strasburg. Realmuto had his damage against Strasburg, and nobody else had a whole lot of success. And the same was true with Ozuna and Scherzer.
One thing we know, he loves to hit it home. 329 here at Marlins Park. 19 home runs.
Gordon increases his lead, not running. 2-1 pitch is down low, and Lively still trying to find the strike zone.
Very patient and very deliberate at bats from the top of the Marlins lineup here in the first. Lively work.
There goes D, swing and a miss, Rump's throw, and Gordon is out. D. Gordon out at second base on the catch and tag by Cesar Hernandez.
Well, D. Gordon, he can get about a one-step jump on Lively. He's pretty quick to the plate. Short step towards home. And you see the tag to the backside as D slides in feet first. Marlins chose not to challenge.
Hoskins now. And the Marlins have had a front row seat on this guy's home run show. 11 of them. Look at the OPS. And look at the number of games played in his major league career. 21 of them. Pulls that one foul.
He's got 5 home runs and 7 road games this season. You know, by the way, he's riding a 12-game hitting streak. In case you're interested.
Hoskins, a very unassuming guy as well. Despaigne going after him, misses down low. It's an outstanding read on ESPN.com. Jerry Krasnick wrote it, and the headline is Rhys Hoskins the next face of the Phillies? He's such a mysterious guy because he didn't come from a huge baseball factory like college. He's kind of come up through the minor leagues quietly. Maybe we should get to know him. AARP presents Get to Know Rhys Hoskins. Yesterday he was named International League MVP and Rookie of the Year. 29 homers in 115 games for the Iron Pigs of Lehigh Valley.
Well, it's an impressive season for the young man. He's put together a nice run here at the major league level. Everybody's saying the right things. He's impressed early, lots of power. As you said, quite unassuming. But the question that remains, I think Giancarlo Stanton, I heard him say it when asked about Hoskins, you know, he's going to have to go through that second cycle through the league, and that's really where the adjustments start to happen for a young slugger. How will he react when the pitching reacts to him?
Well, he takes a walk to open up the second inning. Pete McCannon's got Daniel Nava back at his disposal. Nava's in the 5 spot. Well, Aaron Judge is kind of going through that. And here is Nava. A couple tours of duty on the disabled list for the switch hitting outfielder. And from this side of the plate, the Marlins play him to pull. And so Dietrich's the only guy left on the left side of the diamond. can see Rojas close to the bag at second, Gordon in the hole. Espana gets a strike.
Nava off the disabled list August 25th. He's 2 for 7 since his return. On the disabled list 3 times this year, 2 times with hamstring injuries. The left one. This last time he was on with a lower back strain.
And that ground ball is actually going to go to the other side. Rojas's throw is in time. After that first strike, the Marlins always swap the third baseman over to the right side and bring Rojas back over. And I think it worked out.
Well, this turns into
nicely here.
This turns into a spectacular play by Rojas. You see the ground he has to cover, and then to get the shoulders square and a strong throw across to Tyler Moore. Well done.
And the feeling there is they want the third baseman over on that left side for that first strike in case there's a bunt. Once they get a strike, they feel the likelihood of a bunt is erased. That's why they bring Rojas back over, and it works out. I don't know that Dietrich makes that play. Now, Derek was a college shortstop. He's a fine third baseman right now. That one pulled down the line, and a weird bounce sends it foul off Mikhail Franco.
I believe it was actually right off his front foot. Franco's had a somewhat of a miserable season. You see the numbers, slugging percentage at .390. He's had big numbers against the Marlins this year. .378, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs in 11 games.
Ball and a strike. Odrismer Despaigne, a veteran of Serie Nacional, which is the Cuban major leagues, and that league is actually a winter league. There's Dietrich in action across the diamond in time to get Franco. So when you pitch in Cuba, your season gets rolling right around October, and it finishes up end of February. And Despaigne pitched for a great team there, the Industriales. 61 wins, an ERA about 3.5. Was in that rotation for 6 seasons.
Well, would it be fair to say that as hot as it is here in the summertime, that it's probably just as hot in Cuba?
In the summer, absolutely.
Well, that's what I mean. It's probably why they play. Their season starts in October and goes through the, well, we'll call them the winter months.
Here's Florimon. Getting the start in center field.
He made a couple of starts in the 4-game series up in Philly. Had 3 hits. Swinging the bat pretty well over the last 8 games for the Phillies. Getting a little bit of playing time. He's going to strike to the inside corner. .313 over his last 8. A 4-game hitting streak.
Hoskins in scoring position with 2 outs. And Despaigne misses down low. Now Despaigne defected, and this is what happens and has happened with a lot of the Cuban stars that wanted to come and try. He defected in Europe during a tournament, international tournament. Became a resident of Spain, then moved to Mexico, all within about a season's time before signing with the Padres. Swing and a miss, and Despaigne looks sharp here tonight. A pair of strikeouts and a scoreless start for the Marlins and the Phils.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Miami Marlins. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and the descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins.
And in Miami, a 4-gamer starts with the Phils. Marlins trying to put DC behind them. Nationals will be back here before too long, in fact on Monday. But in the meantime, the Marlins try to get back to winning. Marcell Ozuna continues what was a
You don't see this very often.
fairly lengthy at bat before D. Gordon was thrown out trying to steal, and of course Ozuna cracks one into center field for a hit. JT Realmuto, Derek Dietrich will follow.
Good swing here at that lively fastball. As we mentioned, he's got a good one. It's hard to pick up. 90, 92, occasionally hits 94, a little bit deceptive, but this one up. Ozuna swung through it on a 3-1 pitch. Didn't miss it right there, right? Nice adjustment from at bat to at bat, I think.
Now, you noted earlier that Lively hasn't thrown a lot of innings. He's currently working in his 55th inning.
Correct.
And he's a fly ball pitcher.
But
he's got 10 double play ground balls.
He has. I'm not really sure how to explain that. I mean, he does have a bit of a unique four-seam grip.
Ooh, well, that one, I think all 4 seams
Got him.
hit JT Realmuto.
First 2 guys on. That's good to see. It's a tailing fastball in on JT Realmuto. Yeah, he throws the 4-seam fastball, as I said, 47% of the time, but it's not your traditional. He's got a split-finger grip on it. So a lot of times you get that tailing action. In fact, that's what you saw JT Realmuto get hit by.
It's been an odd start for Lively so far. He showed no signs of control, yet he faced the minimum in the first.
But even if you follow his scouting report, you know, the ones through the first 9 starts of his major league career, lots of contact, not overpowering, makes good pitches, throws strikes.
Right now he's thrown just 8 strikes and 22 pitches. He's got Dietrich up there. Tyler Moore's on deck. Ozuna at second. Realmuto at first. Dietrich swings and misses at a breaking ball.
There was one of the rarely used sliders. You wonder if at some point Lively doesn't try to commit to his secondary pitches a little bit more while he figures out his fastball command. It's caused him grief.
That's a called strike. And it's 1-2.
It's a pretty good tell on a guy's fastball when you see a lot of check swings, particularly that first time through the lineup. How do they see the ball out of his hand? And you've seen a few different ones. D. Gordon had one. Marcell Ozuna had one as well.
Well, what makes him so difficult to pick up?
Well, he's a big guy. He's not he doesn't really crossfire. He opens up a little bit early. I don't know if it's just the natural running action on his fastball or not. He's got a good front side tuck.
He got Dietrich to bite on that breaking ball, and he's tried it 2 more times, and Dietrich has not. So the count goes to 3-2. And you got runners first and second and nobody out. Tyler Moore and then Miguel Rojas behind Dietrich. (3-2). Dietrich lines it into center field. That's a hit. Ozuna to third. Freddie has him held, and with good reason. Florimon was on that ball quickly. And so the bags are loaded for Moore, and there's nobody out.
Quality at bat for Derek Dietrich. So a very nice August. Need to finish on a good note. 3-2 pitch, just enough to get it into the outfield, as you said. Right, Florimon, nice read. Certainly as that ball was hit, got around it pretty quick and able to pick it up with 1 hop. Ozuna had to hesitate just a bit to see if the ball would be caught by Galvis. Didn't get the quickest break off of second base.
Tyler Moore would love to get rolling here.
He's been scuffling just a little bit. Got 1 at bat in the Nats series. Pinch hit appearance. His first start in a little bit. Good opportunity for him. get rolling again here with the bases loaded.
Lively trying to get a strike. Get me over, and he misses, and it's 1-0. Tyler Moore's never hit a grand slam. Ben Lively in some trouble, and the Phillies infield is back for 2. Moore hits that ball into center, not real deep. Ozuna tags, Floremon is there, makes the catch. Ozuna starts, and the throw comes home, and nobody able to advance. So Lively has that all-important first out.
He's able to get Tyler Moore to reach on a slider across the plate. So he forfeited his balance in the box. Got the arms a little too far extended and popped it up. Floremon, not the best route in center field, but enough to keep Ozuna third base.
They say hitting 8th in the National League is the most difficult spot in any batting order in any league. Oftentimes it's because you're trying to guess whether they're pitching to you or around you. But in this case, it's because this at bat is enormous.
If you're an everyday number 8 hitter, you love this opportunity, right?
Rojas goes after a fastball, and that's because
you should get pitched to.
Lively is on the ropes here in this inning, and yet by getting the out from the 7 spot, he has the escape hatch of Despaigne on deck. All he needs to do is get Rojas. So Rojas all of a sudden with a very important at bat early in this ball game.
Well, yeah, as I said, he should get something to hit. Lively's going to challenge him.
Fastball, ground ball, slowly hit. Galvis is at one play to first. Miami gets the run. Ozuna scores. Fish have second and third and 2 outs, and here comes Despaigne.
Well, Marlins will take the lead. They haven't had too many over the last few ball games, obviously with the Nat series. Slow roller to the left side. He's going to get Ozuna home easily. Galvis had only one play to first base. Marlins are on the board. They are winning the game of traffic right now.
Well, as we know, that doesn't always come out in the end.
That's what they're winning.
Despaigne, little dribbler, and that's picked up by Rupp, and he flips it down to first. Miami leaves 2, but gets 1. 1-0 Marlins.
Jacksonville, he'll make his major league debut tomorrow.
It was the night of the Conor McGregor fight, so we were already pretty excited as a team in AA. And then my manager called me in and told me the news, and it was awesome. It didn't really sink in until I got on the phone with my dad, though. Called my dad, and he had friends over at his house watching the fight back in Indiana. They watched my baseball game, or our baseball game, I guess. And then I called him, and it was the waterworks happened, just everything you can expect.
Dylan told me it was about a half hour before the fight. Now he's called up, and he will make his major league debut and start tomorrow for the Marlins. Don Manning did not say he's going to be penned in every 5 days, but certainly there's an opportunity here for not only the Marlins to see Peters, but if he does well, you'd expect him to stay in the lineup for the Fish and maybe start every 5 days, guys.
And you know what, Craig and Todd, sometimes some bad luck turns into good luck. He was hitting the thumb with a comebacker, fractured his thumb, and missed a significant time this year in Double-A. But because of that, his arm is fresh, and so pitching in September is not an issue for him. In fact, the Marlins have him ticketed for the Arizona Fall League just to get his innings up because of the injury. Sometimes you have a prospect that's pitched an entire minor league season and you're hesitant to stretch him through September with 4 or 5 starts. Not so with Peters. If he pitches well, he's good to go the rest of the month. That's a foul ball off the bat of Cameron Rupp.
I'll tell you what, pitches well up here in the month of September. He's going to have a good time in Arizona Fall League. Going to be big innings. I mean, listen, everybody's watching. I'm going to sit here and tell you that the leverage is any less just because he's a young guy. These are big starts for the Marlins.
And the start that Despaigne has made so far has been a good one. He struck out 2, walked 1. Center field, Rupp gets into it. Yelich turning. Oh, makes the catch. That is like walking a tightrope for an outfielder. And Yelich played it very well.
Well, it's trust, it's education, it's preparation is what Christian Yelich has done. We've seen him do it a few times this year. You know, he's able to go back over one shoulder and then reverse back around and make the catch on the other side. Seamless.
Here's Lively now, and he fouls one off. In center field, when you get a ball hit right at you and you've been out there, what goes through your mind?
Well, it's always about creating angles for yourself. I mean, that's just it. You've heard me say at times, like, you know, you start with the ball in the sun so that the ball will come out of the sun. It's the same thing on a line drive. You never want a ball right at you because, again, you're trying to read the spin, figure out where it's going, so you typically play it off a shoulder. And if you can do that, you get a little separation between you and the baseball, a little better angle, maybe some depth perception. And then you realize if you need to keep going back to the left or if you need to spin back to the right. That move you see right there, young kids at home, that's a fun move to practice. Get your dad out back, throw him some fly balls. You can practice making that turn and learning how Christian Yelich just did that.
Tyler Moore has it and steps on the bag. Lively is out number 2. You can celebrate halfway to St. Patrick's on Sunday, September 17th, by running through and around Marlins Park, 2nd annual Miami Marlins 5K. After the race, it's the Marlins and the Brewers, which should be a very good game. 1:10 start. Get your tickets at marlins.com/special events. The Brewers, one of the teams the Marlins are chasing in the wild card. Top of the order, Cesar Hernandez.
Well, the joy of the month of September for the Marlins right now is that every game, whether it's against the Phillies, the Brewers, or, well, anybody else, Nats, they're like playoff games. And one advantage we felt we had in 03 was that we had dug the hole so deep in May that we were kind of playing playoff games all season long. It's an edge that you come to the yard with every day and an expectation. The Marlins have that right now. You know, this is the Philadelphia Phillies. They're going at this like you don't want to lose this ball game. You really want to take it to them.
Hernandez, a fly ball out to Yelich back in the 1st. Despaigne bounces that one up there. The Brewers, by the way, tonight start a 4-gamer against the Washington Nationals. So that's going to be a fascinating one to watch. And Washington stay as hot as they were against the Marlins. Kind of a knuckleball by Despaigne. Rojas's throw is not in time. That's the mini version of what Yelich went through. Right?
Right.
In a smaller scale.
Now this is a little bit of a jam shot. You see Despaigne certainly a little frustrated with not coming up with that one. Rojas strong throw, but Hernandez runs well.
So first hit of the ball game, an infield hit. Here's Galvis now. If J.P. Crawford who should be here in a few days and is a shortstop, is all of what the Phillies hope he is. You never know. Galvis, who, as I pointed out earlier, could win the Gold Glove at shortstop this year, could be on the market.
Maybe very well find himself in a utility role as well. Give him a start in center field and find out what he can do. I'd love for his bat to pick up. I mean, it's not that he's not one of the best defensive shortstops in the National League. He certainly is, but the bat has lagged a little bit this year.
It's coming off a 20 homer season. The looper, and that's going to fall into left field. Ozuna picks it up. Galvis with a hit, and now you got Nick Williams up there. So what looked like a smooth inning for Despaigne suddenly has 2 hits with 2 outs.
Now, this is the cruelty of the game of baseball. Any starter will tell you. Gracious. First hit by Hernandez that didn't leave the infield, and then a little bloop single to left off the bat of Galvis brings Phillies potentially two most dangerous hitters to the plate. You see Nick Williams. He's digging in. Hoskins on deck. Maybe a little cross up there. JT went at that baseball a little odd, kind of surprised him as it was crossing home plate. Let's talk to Drismer.
We're telling you that Williams has been impressive from what we've seen, and I think everybody in the Marlins clubhouse would say yes as well. 393, 2 homers, 9 driven in, 9 runs scored in just 7 games against Miami this year.
It's made him even more dangerous. 7 of his 8 home runs come with runners on base. 29 RBIs in 42 second half games. Cut fastball by Despaigne. Just acted a little bit more like a slider. In fact, it could have been a slider, had a lot more action on it. Got in on Williams' hands. Despaigne has made a couple of nice pitches in on Williams, not allowing him to get his arms extended. See how he starts with the open stance and comes closed. Does like to get those arms extended, particularly middle away.
Time was called before the pitch, so the count's going to stay 1-2. Despaigne's dad, Francisco, was a fine pitcher for the Industriales as well. And a swing and a miss. Odrisamer Despaigne escapes trouble here in the 3rd. Giancarlo Stanton 2 up. We get to the bottom of the 3rd.
The game on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go app. Take Fox Sports Go with you wherever you go.
That's right. A lot of goes in there. And with all the devices that you have, Gordon lines it.
It's always with you.
It is. It's the new way to watch everything, right? On your laptop, on your iPad, on your phone. D. Gordon at the plate. The count's 0-2. Gordon was thrown out trying to steal in the first. Boy, the Marlins got exactly what they wanted in the first. Ben Lively walked D. Gordon, brought up Giancarlo Stanton, and went 3-0 on Stanton. And threw a fastball right down the middle. Stanton hit it a mile high. That was for the first out. Yelich then lined to short for an out. And then Gordon, deep into an Ozuna at bat, broke for second and was thrown out at second. Swings and misses. And Lively strikes him out. And here comes Giancarlo.
Using that slider a little bit more. Gordon waved at it, pick it up very well.
That's first strikeout for Lively.
Mentioned his last start. Gave up 6 earned runs, 4 home runs to Chicago Cubs, but in fact, set his own personal high with 8 strikeouts. Weird start.
Stanton takes out. Stanton didn't chase any off-speed stuff. Lively had trouble throwing his fastball for a strike in that first at bat. And that breaking ball backs up. That was not a strike. It was called.
Stanton got tested in the 4-game series in Philly. Had a couple of home runs in that series. It's 1-4. Philly's very aware of how well he has been swinging the bat. So far, you see how carefully they pitched him.
All right, it's on here. It's 3-1. Had a great rip at the 3-0 pitch the first time up. See what he gets. 3-1. Breaking ball laced foul. The 51 home runs. These are the bingo grid, if you will. And 15, that middle inside spot. Swing and a miss. And Lively gets him on a breaking ball.
Now it's funny how that works sometimes, right? Back-to-back sliders. The first one he ripped foul on the 3-1 pitch. He was out in front of it. Now this one gets a little bit better. I think Lively's attention was had after seeing how badly he missed with the slider, but the willingness to go back to it gets him a strikeout.
So Giancarlo's 0 for 2. Here's Yelich, who lined out. 1-0 Miami on top. Marlins got that run in the second on a Miguel Rojas ground ball out. Yelich chopper over the middle. That's going to get into center field for a hit. Up with it quickly is Florimon. Hernandez got a glove on it, but that far out, I don't think he's going to get Yelich anyways, even if he had made that catch and wheeled to throw.
Well, it's a perfectly placed ground ball up the middle. See Lively there, a little frustrated. I don't blame him. Marcell Ozuna stepping into the box. He had a very nice first and second at bat of the ball game. Here is his third. No, I'm just kidding. It seemed like it his first time up. D. Gordon was thrown out stealing in the first, so he reloaded in the second and got a base hit.
You're right. It's like having an extra at bat of knowledge.
Exactly right.
So second time through for the Marlins, pretty much the third time through for Ozuna.
Yeah, there's some sort of some kind of internal obligation. You feel like you know more than everybody else in the lineup. I should be getting hits by now.
That counts 2-0. 31 home runs for Marcell, and of course he's past the 100 RBI spot. He and Stanton just having an extraordinary season of production. And he swings at a pitch up in his hands, and Galvis kicks it. Not an easy play, but we've seen Galvis make those commonly. It's going to be an error.
see Galvis kind of treat it like a do-or-die play. I'm not sure that's necessarily the read. Ozuna didn't get out of the box too terribly quick. Galvis played it that way. He was still a good 20 feet short of first base. You see Christian Yelich pulling into second there. Galvis made it a do-or-die. He's going to get charged with an error on the play.
Well, the Marlins were handed opportunities in the first and the second by Lively. Here, though, Lively strikes out the first two. Yelich gets that roller up the middle to get into center. And Galvis kicks the ground ball of Ozuna. So Real Muto now, first and second, 2 outs.
Well, if you're playing hottest hitter in the last 2 days, you got the right guy in the box. That'd be JT Real Muto. Had a fantastic day yesterday against Steven Strasburg, on a day when Steven Strasburg was, well, maybe the best he's ever been. Hit a home run as well.
Second career complete game for Strasburg yesterday.
For JT, it's obviously a big spot. The Marlins 1 for 22 in the Nats series with runners in scoring position. So again, they had some opportunities, left the bases loaded a few different times and weren't able to capitalize on a few opportunities. I mean, you get the bases loaded against Strasburg too many times, or Scherzer, you do get them, you got to get them in.
Pitch is in, count 2-1. JT with the triple and the double yesterday. He's up to slugging percentage to .463. Just wide of third. That had a chance to score 2. As it is, the count's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Just about anything hard to maybe the gaps of the lines might score 2 now with 2 strikes. Ozuna should be off with just about any swing of the bat. He sees JT getting ready to pull the string. He should be taken off over there at first.
Two, and it hit him again. So Real Muto hit. That one looked like maybe the right forearm. Let's take a look.
It's the same pitch, same spot. 2-seam action. Watch it running. It's kind of chasing after JT. Nobody wants to get hit once.
Forearm to bicep. Looks like it hit them both.
You definitely don't want to get hit twice. I don't think JT's looking out with any idea of intent. But again, this is just getting hit by 2 pitches your first 2 at bats of a ball game.
So Miami in another nice spot here. Bags loaded, 2 outs. Dietrich singled in the second. And of course, Dietrich gets hit more than any Marlin in their history.
Real nice at bat his first time up. Line to single into center field on a 3-2 pitch. Very good August. 866 OPS this month.
It's a nice pitch by Lively right on the black. Bags loaded, 2 outs. Dietrich let it fly there, and he fouls it back to the screen. Two pulled foul.
Lively went there his first at bat against Dietrich, tried to bury that slider towards the back foot. Dietrich thinking along with it, maybe even looking for it right there. Foul it off. Eventually got back to the fastball count and got one. Goes back to the slider and chooses to throw that 2-seam fastball away.
Still 0-2. Dietrich, a ground ball to first, and Hoskins is there and gets the out. Miami leaves them loaded. A 1-0 Marlin lead. here in Miami. Tomorrow is a free T-shirt Friday. Marlins and Phillies. For 7,000 fans, get a free Marlins T-shirt courtesy of Citrix. Get your tickets at marlins.com/tickets. Now, some T-shirts have themes. This one just has the in a very cool gray shirt has the Marlin logo. So there's the gray.
Kind of like their road grays.
There you go. There it is. Road gray shirt tomorrow for 7,000. Get a T-shirt courtesy of Citrix. And you'll get to see the first game of September.
It's upon us.
Yeah, and we'll see if Mr. Stanton and Hoskins can continue their onslaught. That one's drilled. Hoskins to left. Back goes Ozuna at the track, makes the catch. Now, do I need to point out that that's a home run in Philly?
No, because I think it's just that little reaction there. I think we panned down to him as he was coming around first base. I think his facial expression told us everything you need to know. A little element of surprise. It's funny because Marcell Ozuna went back like it was no big deal. It's Marlins Park.
Drismer to Spagna here in the 4th inning. He's given up 2 hits. Daniel Nava, Michael Franco. That's another layer among many layers of what Giancarlo Stanton and even Marcell Ozuna have done this year, is the fact that they play in one of the biggest parks in all of baseball.
17 home runs. Marcell Ozuna here at Marlins Park for Stanton. 25.
You know, here's something else to think about, because just in listening to the national discourse on Stanton and what he's done, there are a few that say, well, look, everybody's hitting home runs this year. There's so many home runs in baseball. Everybody's hitting home runs. Home runs up. It's the ball. All of that. But Stanton has the major league lead by 14 home runs. 14 home runs over Aaron Judge. Only 2 other players in major league history have been up by as many as 14 home runs at any point in any season since 1876. Babe Ruth. Now, Ruth did it 7 different seasons. And then Jimmy Fox once. That hits him. That's a if you open up the dictionary and look up back leg breaking ball,
that was it. It's the other leg, the one that doesn't have the guard on it. Watch. Oh, actually got him right below the knee. That didn't even get to his back foot. That got him on the inside of the back knee. Watch that right there. Get out of the way.
So, I mean, think about that. Yeah, home runs, there's lots of them, right? But only 2 other players in Major League history, Babe Ruth and Jimmy Fox, ever have been up by 14 home runs at any point in any season. And Stanton has had that lead for a few days.
And again, he'll have it for a few more days, too. Kind of interesting. We ought to, you know, and that's something I'll certainly take note of. We should all follow, because I think it's kind of an interesting point. You talk about it there with the gap of 14, correct? That's the number, how many he is ahead?
Yes.
Come September 1st. I wonder if anybody in baseball will actually get to 51.
Other than Stanton, is what you're saying.
Well, right, because he's already there. I mean, obviously, you've got the gap of 14, which certainly, I mean, we've talked about. It's recognizable, and it clearly doesn't happen in the game of baseball. And those are the facts that we love to talk about. But my point is that there's a strong possibility he's already wrapped up the home run title for the 2017 season, is essentially what I'm getting at here.
0-2 pitch. And that goes through the glove of Real Muto, and Nava, who was hit by a pitch, ends up at second base.
Elevated fastball. It's off the top of JT's glove, all the way to the backstop. Rule out a pass ball. Probably the right call.
One out. Nava at second. Franco pops it foul out of play. Well, on one hand, it was a wild pitch. On the other hand, it was 95 miles an hour out of Despaignet's hand.
He pitches up in the zone. He can definitely get the velocity numbers up just a tick, especially with his four-seam fastball. Beating most of these Phillies hitters with it all night long. Been a few swings where you've seen that extension. Cameron Rupp got to one as well during the ball game. Lined out to center.
Two balls, two strikes. Float him on the Phillies center fielders on deck. I mean, he's been nursing a 1-0 lead since the second inning. Franco hits another one off his foot.
That's been a weird 4 innings so far in this ball game. We've seen hit batters, balls fouled off players, pitch, pass ball. Different things going on.
Two and two. Now they count 3-2. Inning open with Rhys Hoskins hitting a ball to the warning track down the left field line. Nava took a breaking ball off that back knee. Franco has been able to get deep into this count. 3-2. I think he went. Did he? Oh, no swing. Let's take a look.
I think Franco got out of there in enough time.
Yeah, you're right. He held it.
Looks like he held it. Any chance of getting that call, I think a lot of times gets lost once the batter runner actually gets down the line.
The horse gets out of the barn.
Umpires aren't really keen on bringing guys up halfway down the line.
Well, give Dan Iasonia, the first base umpire, credit. That was a good call.
Yeah, there certainly was.
Float him on now. It's a big at bat for the Phils. Chance to draw even. Spagna trying to push through this fourth inning. His idol growing up, Despagne's, was El Duque. Orlando Hernandez. It seems like a lot of Cuban pitchers have Orlando or Livan. Liner into right center field. That's going to be a hit. Stanton charges to third, and around it comes Nava, and he's going to score. And the Phillies are on the board. Nava's not running very well. Florimon delivers run number one.
Well, it's the location of the base hit that scores him. Whether Daniel Nava is running well or not, Florimon drops this into right center field. Watch, both Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton have a long way to go to get to this one. Stanton does the right thing and kind of gives up on it. I think that if you were to replay it, you say, well, why did he throw it home? Well, that's kind of looking at Nava and saying, well, how come he's not running better?
And Nava downshifted once he saw the throw.
Stan didn't do anything wrong there as an outfielder. That's the exact read. When you have to go that far to get a baseball away from home plate, you're not going to have a play at the plate.
Cameron Rupp probably hit the best ball of the night for the Phillies. He hit the liner that turned Yelich around. Christian made a nice catch in center.
Rupp is definitely frustrated with the Marlins this year. 2 for 25 on the season.
Cameron Rupp is a big human.
He is.
Pulls that one. He has one of the most intimidating, there you go, 6'2", 260. And he has one of the most intimidating photos up on the scoreboard that you're going to face. I mean, if you were a pitcher and you turned around to see who you were about to face and looked up.
It's lumberjack.
Look at the build. Rupp fires that one foul.
Explains why half his hits have gone for extra bases. Mean on the baseball.
He's one of those guys where if you're at second and there's a play at the plate, maybe 3-4 years ago when collisions were a little more frequent.
Yeah, no, you're looking for a corner.
Hits that one well.
You're not even thinking that. Listen, that's premeditated. You're not running into Cameron Rupp. Not even in a vulnerable position. Just go out back and run into a brick wall.
Well, there are some catchers that notoriously are difficult to dislodge from home plate. I would think he'd be in that category. 1-2 pitch. Busted bat, and it gets by Dietrich. And it rolls into shallow left. The runners went back. Ozuna picks it up. I'm not sure if the barrel of the bat was flying out in Dietrich's, not directly at him, but in his general direction. And he just missed it.
Sure did off the thumb of his glove, a little bit underneath.
Watch the barrel.
It's not extending too far. The barrel goes down the third baseline, but not towards Dietrich. He's moving towards second. I tell you, he probably should have had that one. Another bad break for Despaigne. He's actually thrown the ball really well in this ball game.
This has been an inning of mistakes. The hit batter, the wild pitch, the walk, and now that. It's going to go as a base hit. Despaigne does have the pitcher up here in Lively, but there's only one out.
3 of the 4 hits have not been hit hard at all. There's a ground ball away.
Middle infield is at double play depth. Lively with a good swing. Lively, the pride of Gulf Breeze High School in Pensacola. As we noted, went on to play college baseball at Central Florida. Up the middle, Lively's got himself a hit. The Phillies have got themselves at least 1 run. They have 2 runs. And just like that, it's 3-1 Phillies.
Back-to-back base hits. That adds up to 3. Lively certainly showed in his first couple of at-bats the athleticism that he is certainly possesses. It's a breaking ball at the top of the zone, not the best of pitches, but how about Lively staying on it and driving it back through the middle? It's a hard hit ball.
Franco and Floriban score. First and second.
Pitches this inning, Rich. Working hard. The ball down.
Boy, he had a rather uneventful first 3 innings. He gave up the 2 hits with 2 outs in the 3rd, but struck out Williams.
Tazawa's up in the bullpen already.
Two and 2. Despaigne desperately needs an exit for this inning. This is like missing your exit on the turnpike and you keep waiting for that next one to come up, and it's not for a while.
Yeah. You got to be careful here in Florida. Sometimes you miss it twice. I did last night leaving the airport, actually.
2-2. Now back to the screen.
Must be about 4 miles. Let's hope it doesn't cost Espana 4 miles.
Well, 3 consecutive hits. Of course, Rupp's went off the glove of Dietrich. There's Rupp at second. Lively at first. And Espana now with a count 3-2. Stressful inning, you bet. That one hit well, but foul.
Hernandez got out and around the cut fastball.
There's your pitch count this inning, 35, and there's still only 1 out. Infield hoping for a ground ball. That easily could have been ball 4.
No speed on the bases for the Phillies.
Jam shot pop up. Rojas back, makes the catch. Infield fly rule is called. Hernandez is out number 2. This is a 4-gamer with night games tonight, Friday, and Saturday. Tomorrow night, Marlins Live starts it at 6:30. Brought to you by your South Florida Honda dealers. Ron Mattingly will chat with us. Nick Pivetta, the Canadian, and Dylan Peters make his major league debut. Realmuto throws behind the runner, and Rupp is back in. Certainly worth another look. Realmuto has picked off 3 runners this year, all of them at second base.
A strong throw. Rojas, quick tag. Cameron Rupp got back pretty quickly. He looks out to me.
Yeah, it does.
There you go.
And the Marlins are going to review this. Yep. Looks like the glove got him before the hand got the bag. Really hard to see that in real time, but the super slow-mo camera, you can see the hand had yet to get to the bag.
This pitch, 2-seam fastball away. Great pitch to throw on. And a great call by JT. Helping Espana out of this long inning. Clearly see he's out.
This is going to be a quick one, and he is out. And so the Marlins get out of the inning, but the Phillies scored 3 times.
Marlins out of that inning. Talking Ben Lively, Rich and Todd mentioning he is a Floridian from Pensacola, went to UCF, one of the great Knights of all time. But getting to the big leagues, if you talked about him in high school, probably wouldn't have been your least or most likely candidate, because first 2 years of high school, he barely touched 80 miles an hour with his fastball. He actually was starting to get his license as a captain and following in his dad's footsteps as a charter fisherman. However, big growth spurt. He was only 5'10", big growth spurt in the senior year. The fastball started to raise up, went to 90 miles per hour and up, and all of a sudden got some attention. He was a 26th round pick, offered $100,000, turned that down. Went to play for Terry Rooney at UCF and wound up with a 3.04 ERA there. That's third best in UCF history, and the rest is history, as the Reds selected him in the 4th round and traded him to Philly late December 2014, guys.
All right, and the pride of Gulf Breeze High School is all of a sudden found himself on top here, and he helped himself certainly with another base hit. The Marlins have been hurt a lot by opposing pitchers lately.
Well, there's no disputing that. Let's go back to yesterday's ball game and think of the opposite field home run from Steven Strasburg.
Pitch just caught the black. Been on both corners in this at bat. And Tyler Moore swings and misses. So an 0 for 2 for Moore. And here is Miguel Rojas. This looks like a pinch hit possibility, and Ichiro has walked out on deck. With Despagne due up next after that long inning. He is done. Rojas bunts, pops it up, and it's just caught there by Franco, who avoids Lively. And there's 2 outs.
Good communication. Franco clearly established position. See Lively getting out of the way. He's got the call. Gotta make sure that's loud, especially when you see a bunt there. Could have been a nasty accident.
Well, Ichiro was the guy, and instead A.J. Ellis is going to get an at bat. And now we saw Tazawa up. Now it's Brian Ellington.
AJ does have a 2-run pinch hit home run this season. Came in San Francisco. 11th inning. Timing could not have been better. The second time through the lineup, Lively has really gotten to that slider and started to use it an awful lot more.
And he strikes him out. Yeah, Ben Lively from the first few innings, completely different guy. It's an 8-pitch inning. Oh, the State Marlins history. Jeremy Hermida made quite a major league debut. Pitch hitting with the bags loaded in a grand slam against the Cardinals at the old football stadium, which is now the new football stadium.
Well, there is Brian Ellington. Stare at that ERA too long. It's still up there a bit. He's been really good over his last couple of outings. 2 solid innings, 5 strikeouts. Good dominant fastball. Touch 100. Slider and the changeup.
Freddie Galvis was at the plate. Cameron Rutt was picked off by Real Muto. Nick Williams, Rhys Hoskins. Right center field. Galvis gets into that one, drills it deep, and a hop off the wall. Yelich plays it, and Galvis settles for a double. 2 hits for Freddie Galvis.
7th double of the season for Galvis. 2-seam fastball. Tails back out over the plate just a bit. Galvis gets all of it. Boy, he did not have the best of at-bats against Despaigne. Did pick up a bloop single to left, but right there, that's pretty impressive. Turned on velocity. Philadelphia Phillies, the runner in scoring position, back in business again here in the 5th.
Got Nick Williams at the plate. Williams has struck out twice. Both of those, though, were against Odrismer Despaigne, who lasts just 4 innings. After a marathon 4th, the Phillies scored 3 times. Despaigne threw 90 pitches. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. And it wasn't like Despaigne wasn't throwing strikes. 90 pitches, 60 strikes.
Well, Despaigne fell victim to just general sloppy play. How about that? So a few things could have gone his way. Maybe a couple of bad breaks, if you will.
The line drive that got by Dietrich. The ball off of Real Muto's glove as well.
Ellington has pumped 2 fastballs by Williams. 98 and 99. Anticipate him doing just the same again. Maybe elevating a little bit.
Williams fouls that one off. On a Thursday night in Major League Baseball, not everybody is playing, but certainly some teams of interest to the Marlins, including the Milwaukee Brewers, who have a 1-0 lead against the Nationals in the bottom of the 2nd. It's a Gio Gonzalez start for the Nats. Busted bat. Nice play by Ellington. Snares it. Galvis in a rundown. Rojas running him. Dietrich in full flight. Gets a tag there. Hurdles him. And then had an eye on going to first as well. It's a nice athletic play by Derek Dietrich.
165. I'll tell you what, I'm not sure you can do this much better than Ellington did. All right, so you got the crack bat right here. Fields it, runs right at the base runner. Does a fantastic job of getting after him. That gets Galvis hung up. Here's the thing, you gave the ball up to Dietrich. What does that do? Now you've got Dietrich pushing Galvis back towards second base. At the same time, it doesn't allow Williams to get from first to second base. Well done, Marlins. It's beautifully outlined and performed.
So here's Hoskins. Fastest ever to get to 10 homers in a major league career. Still riding the wave of really a first month of games in the big leagues. Since his major league debut, he's even out-homered Giancarlo. Hoskins has hit 11. From the point in which he made his debut, Stanton has hit 10. Always had a good on-base percentage coming up. Knows the strike zone.
They both have had notable consecutive home run streaks. Hoskins has had a 5-game consecutive home run streak himself.
In that Jerry Krasnick article on ESPN.com, there's a great anecdote about him and his college team. Sacramento State, which has not had a great deal of success in college baseball. Here's a 1-1. Smokes it into center field, and it's in there for a hit. And Hoskins was a big star there, you would expect, for sure, and took them to the NCAA tournament. They won a title. They play in the Western Athletic Conference. They won a WAC title, and at the end of the season, at the awards banquet and all of that, the team got these really nice championship rings. Well, it didn't come out for another, I want to say 3, maybe 4 years, at a winter banquet, that Hoskins' head coach admitted that with his signing bonus, Hoskins made a sizable donation to buy the team rings. Hoskins made the coach promise he would never tell anyone, and it slipped up about 3 or 4 years later. To left, Ozuna going back, and he's there and makes the catch. Not many guys would do that, and you can't fault the coach for finally telling that story, right? I mean, here's their star player gets to the big leagues having this kind of week. Everyone wants to know what kind of guy he is, and that's the perfect story to tell you.
Everybody in Philadelphia has been raving about him, obviously catching national attention with his incredible performance to start his career.
Franco now, and he takes up and in.
Base hit to center field. He's got a 13-game hitting streak now.
Top of the order, Gordon and Stanton and Yelich when this ball game gets to the bottom of the 5th. That's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, pulled hard foul.
Well, the Philadelphia Phillies haven't told you what their game plan against Ellington is. Just pay attention. They're jumping all over the fastball. They've laid off the secondary pitches. In fact, I don't think anybody has even swung at a slider yet. Looking to turn the 98 around.
And nice change of pace there from 98 to 88.
Well, get off that slider and maybe throw the righty on righty changeup. Maybe throw the great equalizer. You see the circle change there, index finger and the thumb. That's downward motion. And 89 miles an hour, you'd say, boy, that's awfully hard. Well, when you throw 98, that's still pretty good separation. Back to that 165, and this inning could have been a lot different.
Two balls, two strikes. Two outs here in the 5th. And he got him. Ellington featuring some really good secondary pitches. Giancarlo's coming up, top of the order. The Phillies have a 3-1 lead. Unlimited baseball break. Go back to last night. How about Ender Inciarte in that doubleheader sweep of the Phils? One shy of the major league record for hits in a double dip, 8. Christian Yelich did that a few years ago. Francisco Lindor, 25 homers from a shortstop. That ties Asdrubal Cabrera's record. And Robbie Ray and the Diamondbacks, a win over the Dodgers last night and a win today as well. Arizona's won 7 straight and they sweep the Dodgers. Zach Greinke is the first to 16 wins with his win today. 8-1. Arizona beats the Dodgers. D. Gordon, there's a bunt. It's a good one. And the throw goes up the line. Gordon takes a left turn and kicks to Hernandez. His throw to second. Gordon's in there. Ball goes down to left field. Gordon on his way to third. In there.
Wow, you can't write that up. How about it? That all started with an 0-2 bunt. Fine. Hell, if he's trying to wake everybody up in the Marlins dugout here at Marlins Park, I guess this is a beautiful play then. All right, there's the bunt. It's a pretty good one. Lively, bare hands, up the line. All right, D, left turn. He's off to the races. Watch the throw. Doink! Off his head into left field. There you go. Fire up that motorcycle.
And so here is Stanton now, runner at third, nobody out, and a pitch comes in. It was off speed. It was 79 miles an hour. A crowd reacts, but it's not throwing at it.
Yeah, I think it's just playing off of the fact that JT Realmuto's been hit twice. He got one chasing the current home run leader.
Stanton takes ball 2. There's going to be 2 errors on that play and a bunt single. E1 and E4. Stanton has popped out, struck out. Third at bat against Lively. Infield shifted to the left side. Breaking ball. Stanton pops that one up. Hoskins makes the catch. And so a frustrating night for Stanton. 2 pop-ups and a strikeout.
Under it once again. You see Giancarlo's reaction in the box. And these are balls off the barrel. He is just missing his mark.
Christian Yelich lined to short, singled to center. Infield back. Yelich loops that down the left field line. It's falling, it's in, it's a hit. Gordon scores. Yelich not stopping, and he is in there with a head-first slide. Double number 31 for Yelich. It's a one-run game now.
Yeah, the second hit of the ball game. Weird game continues. Not a bad approach. Thinking about going the other way against Lively. It's the fly ball. He's looking for it. Hustling all the way. He's going to get D. Gordon in, and it's going to put Christian Yelich at second base. Another opportunity to tie up this ball game.
Yelich has had, how do I say this? He's had a really good 2-week run of base running. The fact that Nava is a lefty in left field really played in with that ball up the line.
Well, no knock on Nava, but I think the pursuit of it as well was a big factor into that. Nava, remember, he took a ball off the inside knee, back knee, left knee, when he was hitting. I'm not going to say that he's not feeling it right now, but fleet-footed in left field is not Daniel Nava.
Yelich at second, one out. Here's Ozuna. Ozuna single back in the second. Reached on an error in the third. Now the Marlins, look, in the second inning, they had the bags loaded and nobody out, got one run out of it. Loaded the bases with 2 outs in the third, got nothing from it. Had that leadoff walk to Gordon in the first. And nothing came of that. So down by a run here. Yelich in scoring position and one out.
One of my favorite times of the ball game. Third plate appearance for Marcell Ozuna. 327, 628 slugging percentage, 7 homers, 26 RBIs. 359 with runners in scoring position. All good stuff. These are moments in ball games where Marcell Ozuna has excelled all season long. He's even been patient, not pitched to 16 walks.
Lively with a fastball. Ben Lively struggled early, tightened up later, and a 1-2-3 fourth. But here in the fifth, the Gordon bunt single. Lively's throwing error started this inning. Ozuna knocks it in the air to right. Williams is back. Yelich tags. Williams a catch. Yelich starts towards third. Williams got a good arm, and Yelich is in there. There you go. Nicely done by our promotions department. Nick Williams and the Phillies here tomorrow night, 6:30 start. Marlins Live. Now Real Muto has had 2 plate appearances, and they've both ended with baseball and Real Muto as one, which is not pleasant in the big leagues. He was hit in the second and then hit again in the third.
Well, as you would assume, that's the first time that's happened to him in his career. Of course, the guy on deck has done that 7 times.
JT fouls that one off. It's 0-1. 2 outs. Yelich 90 feet away. Hit hard to short. Galvis gathers and throws him out. Miami gets a run back. 5 innings have passed. It's 3-2 Phillies. Florida is brought to you by the all-new Jeep Compass. By Hankook Tires, chase down your passion, never halfway. And by your South Florida Chevy dealer. Christian Yelich knocking in run number 2. The Marlins still a run short of the Phillies. Trying to coax another nice inning out of Brian Ellington in the 6th. As this 4-gamer opens here. Ellington finishing his warm-up tosses. The Nationals have a couple runs and lead Milwaukee 2-1. That's bottom 3 in Milwaukee. Certainly good news for the Marlins. Cubs 2-0 over Atlanta, bottom 3rd. Doesn't necessarily affect the Marlins at all. Earlier today, Arizona beat the Dodgers to sweep them. Zach Greinke is the first to 16. I believe that's the first time the Dodgers have been swept all year. And the Mets lost to the Reds. Robert Stevenson, the young starter for the Reds, is on a really nice run. He beats the Mets 7-2.
The Marlins are going to have to start making up ground. These teams in front of them in the wild card hunt. This is a game you really want to have tonight. Find a way here in the later innings. Some teams in front: Diamondbacks, Rockies, Brewers. You play them all. Five and a half games back. It's a fairly significant number. They're going to have to knock that down, really, with the hope of making the games against those teams significant. We're going to go up against the Diamondbacks, Rockies, and Brewers right now with a 5.5 game deficit to make up. That would be a pretty big mountain to get over.
You saw the Cardinals even with Miami. The Cardinals tonight are in San Francisco. They were going to face Madison Bumgarner, who's scratched because he's sick. Realmuto back. And JT, that ball hit the top of the screen, it looks like, and JT did all he could.
Wants the bunt. It's popped straight up and straight back. This effort by JT, just not enough space.
Madison Bumgarner is sick. He's been described as that a lot, but
it's usually his pitches.
Yes, I guess we'd say he's ill. So Matt Cain makes that start for the Giants against the Cardinals. Michael Wacha for St. Louis.
Good fastball right there by Ellington, in on the hands. Florimon.
Cameron Rupp and the pitcher Ben Lively are due up for the Phils here in the 6th. Flurry of trades today. And the Angels, in a somewhat of a surprise, picking up Justin Upton from the Tigers. How about that?
About the last 10 to 15 years, most people keep thinking the Angels are going to pick up a significant pitcher along the way, and they always seem to go get the significant bat. Justin Upton, they will more than likely be very happy with his production in their lineup for the next few years. He's under contract for a while. He will be next to Mr. Trout.
Now the Angels did give up a prospect, their number 9 prospect, Grayson Long, and a player to be named later. Angels had a really nice August. They were 18-10. Got themselves nestled right up close to that American League wild card.
I also believe they traded Cameron Maybin to the Houston Astros.
That one a foul tip, held by Realmuto, and a strikeout for Ellington.
Get the fastball, 99 miles an hour, dials it up in the outside corner. Tailing action, but certainly put on point. Getting a couple of fastballs under the hands, well placed.
That was actually a waiver claim with Maben.
It was not a trade. It was a waiver claim.
Yeah.
Huh?
Astros claimed Maben from the Angels. And A.J. Hinch, who's the skipper of the Astros, knows Maben because Hinch was in that front office in San Diego when Maben played there. Really good guy, Cameron Maben, and wish him a lot of success. Cameron Rupp swings and misses.
Well, Maben will be a free agent at the end of the year. So he is auditioning center stage. Houston Astros having a very nice season.
Well, if you're going to audition, wouldn't you want to audition for a first place team that's headed to the postseason?
Exactly. Wonder how many at-bats he'll get. Hopefully he'll get a few.
Boy, Ellington throwing hard. A couple strikeouts here tonight. Remember, Luismer Despagne, 4 innings. Threw 90 pitches in those 4 innings. And if the Marlins can get a couple out of Brian Ellington here and get them to the 7th, that will please their manager to no end. That one fouled back. Rumors are that the Angels aren't done and have been negotiating with the Braves about adding Brandon Phillips and putting Phillips back at second base. Remember, Phillips has been playing third base. Phillips not in the lineup for Atlanta tonight.
Marlins can find a way to win this ball game tonight, it will be their best month on record as a franchise. Chance to go 11-1 in the month of August at home. Should have clarified that, at home.
Two. And he got it. Ellington strikes out Cameron Rupp. One more trade note before the top of the 6th ends. Here's a good look at that fastball with some tail.
Country hardball right there. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Ellington.
Our good buddy John Paul Morosi is reporting that the Tigers, who just sent Upton to the Angels, are actively shopping Justin Verlander right now. You know how the trading deadline comes and there's always that lead up to that time, whatever time they set for the expiration of the non-waiver trade deadline. This is kind of like that here because September 1st is
You have your playoff roster set.
Yeah. Teams that want an Upton or a Verlander or a Maben eligible for the postseason need to have them on the active roster before tomorrow morning.
Lively, a big base hit in this ball game. 2-run single to center his last time up. Hanging breaking ball. Spanier. Probably call it the biggest hit in this game so far.
11:59 Eastern time is the deadline. Lively swings and misses, and Ellington terrific with 2 scoreless innings. Miami down a run, 3-2. Sixth. Dinner and a show. Marlins and Phillies on Saturday, and you can purchase an all-you-can-eat seat for just $30. Get a game ticket, unlimited Nathan's hot dogs, popcorn, peanuts, nachos, and Pepsi soft drinks, and Aquafina water. Buy your tickets at marlins.com. Here in Miami tonight, glad you are with us. Rich Waltz, Todd Hollandsworth, Craig Minervini, Jeff Conine will join us for Marlins Live postgame. This is a game where the Marlins had opportunities to jump on Ben Lively early. 25-year-old out of Pensacola and Central Florida University. Wobbled, but gave up just one run through the first 3 innings. Then all of a sudden Lively started rolling in the 4th. Marlins picked up a run in the 5th and trail it 3-2. And we check in with the aforementioned Craig Minervini. Craig?
Well, Rich, you were mentioning earlier, we talked about Lively being out of UCF. The Marlins have only had one player in their history who came out of UCF, and it's Chad Mottolos, the current Tampa Bay Rays hitting coach. He didn't have a lot of time here. He only played 5 games in 2001, but he is a local guy at St. Thomas Aquinas. He had an incredible high school year, did Mottola. He led the county in hitting, .543 with 14 homers and 48 RBIs. But he was a 10th round pick originally, did not want to sign with Baltimore, went over to college at UCF, and now he's famously known because he was selected in the first round of the 1992 draft as being selected 1 pick ahead of Derek Jeter way back in 1992.
Ah, well, there'll always be that. Dietrich swings and fouls it at the plate. Lively continues on, 79 pitches in. You know, he was drafted actually by the Reds, was Lively, and traded to the Phillies for an aging outfielder. Remember Marlon Byrd? And at the time, it didn't seem like a big deal. And then all of a sudden, Lively blossomed in the Phillies system. He was the minor league pitcher of the year last year. That one catches home plate umpire Brian Gorman.
Certainly showed his ability, not just here tonight. Slider at the top. Catches Gorman on the way back. Be able to go long into his starts. I think he's had a pretty impressive debut. Now 10 starts into his big league career.
Dietrich ground ball, sliding stop. Hernandez pops up, gets him. Really nice play. These two up the middle for the Phils are very, very good with the glove. Hernandez and Galvis.
Nice job by Hernandez negotiating the lip there on the grass. He'll pop back up, make a strong throw to first base. A very strong line on that one, even off the bat of Dietrich, anticipating that ball in the hole. .982 fielding percentage.
Tyler Moore has flied to shallow center and struck out. Crucial at bat for the Marlins in that second inning. Moore with the bags loaded, nobody out. Hit a fly ball shallow center. It did not push home a run. Marlins got that run home on a Rojas ground ball out. That was the second out. Of course, the pitcher up next, Espana, tapped out in front of the plate. Not a UFC term, by the way. And the Marlins had just one run out of that inning.
Lively's done a nice job mixing his pitches multiple times. Now the second and third time through the lineup to that slider to find his fastball. Now he's using the fastball at the top of the zone.
Struck him out. And Moore goes down. Lively strikes him out for the second time.
Tyler Beck gives up on a breaking ball to the inside part of the plate. Watch this, going to back up. I think this one's going to run back to the inside part. It just kind of hangs there, but it catches enough of the plate. Foreman give him the heave-ho right there.
Fox tracks misfired, but in the original render, it was on the inside corner. So Lively has the first two here in the sixth.
Rojas got to run across. First time up, ground ball to short. Popped up a bunt his last time.
Ichiro in the on-deck circle for the second time. Harlan Garcia's up in Miami's bullpen. Rojas lines it into right center field. That's a hit and a sliding stop by Williams. Rojas ends up at second base. And that's going to get Ichiro in at bat with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, it's been an all kind of strange things happening today. Well, not this swing from Rojas. This is a great swing. Drives it the other way. How many times this season have we seen him deliver to right field? He shoots the gap. Now watch Williams here. Goes to his knees to cut it off and then goes back down trying to get the ball back into the infield. Sure, he's pretty happy he was able to pull off that throw, or Rojas may have made his way to third base. Look at bat here for Ichiro. 23 pinch hits on the season. Would love to add an RBI base hit. At number 24 right here.
So the season average is up over 250. Ichiro trying to chase down the all-time major league record for pinch hits in a season. That was John Vanderwall in '95. He had 28. I believe that was for the Colorado Rockies.
Correct. Now let's see the number of opportunities he's been getting. That's why I'm betting on him. 88 pinch hit appearance tonight.
And part of that number being that high is the fact that the Marlins outfield's been very healthy, and the Marlins have been trying to play catch up all year. Breaking ball and a fly ball to left. Nava's there, makes the catch. Miami leaves another runner. This ball game heads to the 7th, still 3-2. inning. Marlins had a great opportunity. They got a run. They got a 1-0 lead on the Rojas ground ball. But in the fourth, Odrisamer Despaigne labored, and some mistakes opened the door for the Phils. They would score 3 times. Ben Lively, the pitcher, knocking home 2 here. 3-1 at that point, 5th inning. Christian Yelich drops one into left field. That's an RBI double. He scores D. Gordon, who had a wild ride to third after a bunt single. The Marlins bullpen, consisting of Brian Ellington for 2 innings, now hands the baton to Harlan Garcia. Top of the order for the Phils, Cesar Hernandez, Freddie Galvis, Nick Williams to follow.
He has been on a roll. But this young man, Harlan Garcia, the rookie, 2.96 ERA, 45 2/3 innings. Leads the Marlins bullpen. You saw this coming, right? With appearances, 56 of them already this season. It's been absolutely outstanding. Scoreless his last 5 appearances. His changeup's coming around. Good to see. He's now got a 3rd pitch. Here in the second half, opponents hitting 202 against him.
Garcia predominantly a starter coming up. Nothing wrong with starting your major league career in the bullpen. That used to be the norm. Some teams still are able to do that. The Cardinals for a long time have used that as practice. Over the head of Rojas. That's in the gap. Yelich trying to cut it off. Ball off his glove. Hernandez to second. Ozuna scoops it up. Keeps him to a double.
Hernandez is going to get a charge into this one. It's perfectly placed between Ozuna and Yelich. Watch this. Both have just as far to go to get this one. Yelich even to the backhand. I'm not sure he gets Hernandez at second base. Just a matter of getting the ball back in. These are in business here in the 7th. Nice job by Ellington. 5th and 6th innings, picked up 4 strikeouts. Impressive stuff. Struck out the last 4 hitters he faced. 3 consecutive scoreless appearances.
Galvis shortens and didn't check his swing. Galvis trying to move the infield with that, and the hope as a bunter is once you square, the second baseman goes to first, shortstop hangs around second. That can open up both the right and the left side.
Infielders will typically hold. They know it's an off-speed pitch.
Center field, well hit. Yelich back, track, makes the catch, gathers himself. Tagging is Hernandez, and he will reach third base. Boy, Galvis, who is 2 for 3 going in, hit that ball well.
He's been on his game tonight.
On Labor Day, the Marlins and the Nationals. That's a Monday night game. First 10,000 fans getting Marlins fortune teller baseball, courtesy of Aquafina. Get your ticket today at marlins.com/tickets. The fortune tellers baseball. Infield in. Williams struck out twice and bounced back to the mound.
So far this season has shown the ability to handle left-handed pitching along with the righties. A little earlier, he's been driving in runs. Good clip here in the second half. You see that he's got a home run against Harlan Garcia.
Little ground ball. Teacher cuts it, turns, fires perfectly at the plate, and they've got Hernandez in a rundown. He's tagged out. Outstanding play by Derek Dietrich.
The defense tonight for the Marlins has been on point. Saved a few Marlins. 5-2-6 scoring at home. Difficulty on this is not fielding the ball. It's the throw that has to come with it. Wheels and a strike to JT Realmuto. Hernandez, pretty quick base runner. He's not in both times the Phillies have been in rundowns and trying to stay in rundowns to get the runner to the other base. Williams unable to move up. Huge play right there, cutting him off at home.
And with Hoskins up, the righty slugger, the Marlins have Kyle Bearclaw up in the pen, and Harlan Garcia is going to come out. Runner first, 2 outs. Florida Lottery called to the pen. Value for $5 when you ask for the grouper from the Florida Lottery. So many life-changing prizes. Get your group ready. Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. I'm going to miss those guys.
Break into your happy dance every time you do that read.
Well, here's Bearclaw, and he'll be facing Hoskins. Hernandez thrown out on the nice play by Dietrich. And just in case you need a Florida Lottery in-game jackpot, here we go. Current hitting streaks. Odubel Herrera is on assignment right now. He's actually on a rehab assignment on the DL. Hoskins at 13 games. Brandon Phillips, who might be an angel before the night is done, at 14 games. Hoskins right field, well hit. Stanton there, and he makes the catch. Miami down a run. Top of the order, including Giancarlo coming up. Sports Supports. Proud to team up with Girls on the Run in their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved by visiting foxsportsupports.com. Toyota brings you an inside look. The all-new RAV4. National League since 1920. Runs driven in August. Stanton, of course, with all the home runs, but also lots of RBIs. 37. Hack Wilson in the 30s. Well, 1930 with 53. Ryan Howard in 06 in modern day times had 41. Stanton due up second. Lefty on the mound for the Phillies. Ben Lively's night is done. Adam Morgan. He'll face D. Gordon, throws a strike. Gordon has walked, struck out, and has a bunt hit. There's Morgan and his numbers.
Morgan fastball, curveball, slider change. Fastball 94, 95 miles an hour.
D. Gordon knocks one into center field. That's a base hit. Now the Phillies have a right-hander in their bullpen. And the question is, will they let Morgan face Stanton? Ramos is ready. Stanton's on his way to the plate. It's been a frustrating night for Stanton. Ben Lively handled it pretty well. He popped up twice and struck out.
Righty's hitting .330. Slugging .593. 6 home runs. Adam Morgan. Good opportunity. Giancarlo can lock it in.
Morgan misses away.
D. Gordon came around to score that bunt his last time up. Career high 93rd run scored.
Both of Stanton's pop-ups have essentially been straight up. .94 strike.
Stanton great numbers versus lefties. 3 RBIs to go along with those 13 home runs.
Gordon at first has been caught stealing tonight. And Morgan gets a strike. It's 1-2. That's there. That's a perfect pitch. Outside part right at the knees.
Well, the Phillies taking a page out of the playbook from the Nats so far tonight. Just living on that outside corner. Setting up camp out there.
Goes a little further out. See Stanton bending and watching. Watched it all the way outside. That's down and that's out.
And that's a great take by Giancarlo Stanton. Yet another pitch on the outside part of the plate. This one catches a little bit more on the plate, but down. Good take on the changeup.
Cat and mouse. Adam Morgan, Giancarlo Stanton.
Exchange here. The 3-2 pitch.
Let's see if Gordon runs. He starts, swing and a miss. Gordon stops. Stanton strikes out. Gordon started, then stopped. Stanton swings and misses, and a really nice changeup.
Now back to it again. This one catches even more of the plate. Downward action. Stanton way out in front of it. He did not get a clean break. You saw Morgan's front leg go up and back before Dia even made a move towards second base. Probably a good idea to pull up.
Now Yelich. And we'll see how aggressive Gordon is now. Yelich, a really nice night. He's lined out, singled, and doubled home a run. Yelich's average up to 287. And down he goes. His on base sits at 370, and his slug is now up over 450 at 451.
Now this is a bit of an attention getter here. A two-seam fastball running in on Christian Yelich. He fouls it off his back knee. don't anticipate that pitch too often from a lefty, especially with that kind of velocity on it. Morgan, the former starter, has transitioned into a reliever, so maintains all 4 pitches. He has picked up some velocity because he's only throwing 10 to 20 pitches an outing.
So if you're Morgan and you saw Yelich hit on the knee, where do you go?
I'm going to go right back at that knee. See if you can handle it.
Which means 4-seam fastball?
He throws a 2-seamer. That's what the tailing action was from. Go slider away. Way away.
Gordon's had some looks now at Morgan. Ozuna's on deck.
Well, I would never accuse D of being gun shy at going. But you got to remember, you got a lefty on the mound. You're down a run, and you've been thrown out the last 2 times you've tried to steal.
Yelich swings and misses. And Adam Morgan gave up a hit to Gordon to start the inning. Strikes out Stan, strikes out Yelich. Now faces Ozuna.
Well, after the 2-seam fastball on the hands and the back knee, 2 sliders away, Christian Yelich away. You see the effectiveness of it.
Ball in the dirt. 2 outs now, and so the urgency for Gordon to run is a tick or 2 higher. Ozuna singled in the second, reached on an error, and is flied out.
Play him slightly to pull on the infield and the outfield.
Got Real Muto on deck. Remember, the Phils in their bullpen have got Edubre Ramos ready to go.
Rough out to make sure Morgan doesn't make a mistake to the game's most dangerous hitters with runners in scoring position, Marcell Ozuna.
Count 2-2. Gordon's been on base 3 times, which for Miami is usually a recipe for more than 2 runs. Gordon runs, Ozuna fouls.
Ozuna has to protect with 2 strikes. Hope that Ozuna can catch a mistake here, maybe drive one in the gap. Keep running. A little bit of a head start. Go again. Good arm side fade. Change up and his fastball.
Gordon has increased the lead, not running. And Ozuna pops it foul and back and out of play. Milwaukee 3-2 now. They're back on top of the Nationals. That's bottom 5 in Milwaukee. Brewers are ahead of the Marlins in the wild card standings. Arizona not only beat the Dodgers but swept the Dodgers today with an 8-1 win. And Zach Greinke is 16-6. 2-2 coming to Marcell Ozuna. Gordon running, and Ozuna cracks it off the screen.
Morgan has not changed up from his pattern. He continues to work that outer half. Tailing action on the fastball. You see Marcell now 8 pitches. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Pretty good look. Morgan has in no way challenged him to the inner third of the plate. I think has been away the entire time. A pretty healthy lead once again.
Long at bat here, a lot of pitches for Ozuna. Gordon dancing from first. And he's got the read on Morgan's move to first, it would seem.
Shorten up his lead a little bit. He has in no way done that. He's not intimidated by the fact he hasn't seen anything else. 4 throwovers on a 7-pitch at bat.
D runs. Ozuna fouls it back.
Same sequence, right? It's even the same type of foul ball right now. You see that late tailing action on the pitch from Morgan. Ozuna staying on it but fouling it off to just off to the right side.
You wonder at what point does Morgan
change the pattern?
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's the stubbornness of Morgan right now. He's like, well, Ozuna's not getting the best of passes at me. Why am I going to dare try go to the inner third? Yeah, every one of these pitches has been on the outside part of the plate. He's trying to get him to expand the strike zone. Of course, I know he's concerned with D running. I don't think he's going to change the pattern.
Runs again, pitches out, Rupp's throw, and D's in there. That's a hard-earned stolen base. Gordon is a little winded.
Number 48, right? He had to take a few passes at second before he was actually going to get awarded with it. Beats the throw, nicely done. I think everybody here in Marlins Park knew D was going. It's not always the easiest thing to do, and a good pitch to throw on as well for Rupp. Nice job by D.
So that's 9 pitches, 4 throws over to first. This at bat is approaching and now entering its 8th minute.
Marcell needs to continue to show those great disciplined at bats, many of which have come with runners in scoring position. Marlins going back to the National Series now, 3 for 32. See that outstanding batting average. 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
So 3-2. What does Ozuna get? Change up, same pitch he struck Stanton out on. Well, he finally changed the pattern at the very end of an almost 9-minute at bat. 3-2 still. Obviously, everybody's focus these last few days have been on Houston and Louisiana, the awful floods. You can donate. Visit redcross.org or text Harvey to 90999 to give a $10 donation. Redcross.org, that's where you can visit. Or if you just want to donate $10, text Harvey to 90999. Data rates may apply outside the ballpark. The American Red Cross, I believe they will be here all weekend. So tomorrow night, Saturday and Sunday, before you come into the ball game, if you want to make a donation, that would be terrific. Here tonight, a frustrating night for Miami. The Phillies have a 3-2 lead. Marlins have had ample opportunity to score more runs and have been unable to get it done. Daniel Nava, Kyle Bearclaw, and a fly ball left. Ozuna's there, makes the catch. Miguel Franco, and then Pedro Florimon for the Phillies.
Claw came on and got a huge out in the 7th. Hoskins rocket to right at Giancarlo Stanton. Kyle 5 wins at Marlins Park this season.
To Franco. Count stays 0-2.
This is his 8th appearance since reinstated from the disabled list. Only 1 run allowed. 5 hits. 8 1/3 innings. It's been very good.
As has Miami's bullpen tonight. Dusmer Despaigne 4 innings, gave up the 3 runs. Ryan Ellington 2 scoreless with 4 strikeouts. Harlan Garcia 2/3. Garcia helped out by the nice play of Derek Dietrich to catch a runner headed home. And then Bearclaw came in and got that last out of the 7th. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Franco is down. MLB.com at bat. It's your #1 mobile app for live Marlins baseball. You can stay connected. Get club-based home screen icons, app features, game day, video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast, news, freaking laser beams. Sorry, that was
Fleury-Mont, 3-night, big RBI single. Spanier got things going for the Phillies.
Fleury-Mont's been in center. Now the Phillies have got 8 hits, but on a night where your opponents have made 3 errors and you've had opportunities, it's a frustrating one to be down 3-2. Luis Garcia. Fairclough runs the count full at 3-2. Spanier starting tonight. Remember, Dylan Peters makes his major league debut tomorrow night, starting for the Marlins.
Fleury-Mont has shown the ability really to go outside and get that fastball. First one he's really made contact with tonight. He picked up a strikeout on the outside part. Fairclough back out there as well.
Breaking ball, Fairclough strikes him out. So Kyle goes an inning in the 3rd scoreless. The bullpen has done their job. Miami's down a run in the 8th.
Trying to work his way back from that right oblique injury. He's been out since late July, but there is good news. He traveled with the team, worked out with the team in D.C., worked out today. As you look at our news and notes, Dylan Peters, as we mentioned, starts tomorrow. Wei-Yin Chen, 2-inning rehab tomorrow with Jupiter. And Justin Bour working and looking good, working his way back. Now the Double-A season will end on Monday. However, that's the regular season. Looks good because Jacksonville's 1 win away from clinching the South Division Championship. They're tied in the 8th inning, 1 win in 5 games. So Bour will play this weekend with Jacksonville. And Don Mattingly said today, probably in the early part of the playoffs as well with the Shrimp. They want to give him some at-bats before he comes here. Mattingly ruled him out basically for the homestand, but he said, we'll see. Everything depends on how he feels, guys. But at least it looks like maybe a week or so, Justin Bour will be back.
Great to have him back. It would be for sure for the month of September. Real Muto, Dietrich, Moore, Hyung-Soo Kim is in left field. Luis Garcia is on the mound. Six innings of Ben Lively. He's in line for the win. Adam Morgan, a scoreless 7th. And now Garcia. Real Muto, you can hear him say, hey, you got to check that. Open umpire Brian Gorman says, I don't have to check it. That's a look here.
Took it upon himself to make the call.
And that's the oddity in that the catcher can ask an umpire to check, but a hitter cannot.
Correct. Yeah, it's kind of looked like he went there, but you'd like to see that go down at first. Didn't get his wishes. Garcia pitching very well. Marlins have seen plenty of him this season. 5 innings. 1 earned run allowed. 5 games. Big slider that he throws along with an overpowering fastball. They top out at 98, 99 miles an hour. Two to 1 ground ball to fly ball rate.
Dietrich pops that one up. Look, Miami needs a run, and obviously that's at the top of the list here in the 8th inning. But if they don't get a run, at the very least, you want to at least bring 4 men to the plate, which would ensure a Stanton at bat in the 9th and accelerate the offense. Try to get some of the big bats up with a shot in the 9th inning. Dietrich's 1 for 3, and a 1-2 from Garcia.
Nice job fouling that off.
Previous foul ball. Oh, look, Craig is in the crowd. He's a man in the crowd. That one 2 rows behind. Fastball up. It's 2-2. Tomas Talis is on deck.
Trying to spin that slider around the outside corner. They got it all the way back.
Brad Ziegler has heated up for the 9th. Up and out, and Dietrich works a walk.
Night for Dietrich's real good quality at bats. He can get back to his first base hit back in the 2nd inning. Down the count, got it back to 3-2, line to single to center. This is bad here. Tying run now on base. Talis, the opportunity to keep this inning moving along. Moore 0 for 3 tonight. So he's hitting .250 from the left side of the plate.
Fastball inside corner, 98.
He's 263 over his last 10 starts.
The best production for Miami out of first base in the last few weeks has been JT Realmuto. at least here. With a 1-1. Fouls that one back. As Craig reported, Justin Bour going to play in some games this weekend in the minor leagues. Minor league season is done unless you're headed to the postseason. Minor league season ends on Sunday.
Jump in. Yeah, Rich, Jacksonville's played very well in the second half. 37-28. They did not have a good first half.
Little roller out in front of the plate. Garcia fields, throws, and throws it away. Down the line it goes. Dietrich around third. He's headed home. He's gonna score. The ball gets by the catcher. Hold on.
He is being called out. Talise is being called out for running inside the baseline.
Whoa. Dietrich came across home plate. The first base umpire stopped the play as Williams was throwing in from right field.
Plate umpire Brian Gorman motioned that Talise was out. Swinging bunt. You see him way inside the line right there.
Yeah, he is.
Yep, sure is.
So where do you place Dietrich in this spot?
I guess it's second base.
Or does Dietrich go back to first since it did dead ball? The Phillies right now and the umpires are going to get together to discuss this as well.
Oh, he goes back to first. There you go.
Well, Dietrich is headed back to first. This is not a reviewable play by replay. Anything with obstruction or interference is not reviewable. It's the proper call for Brian Gorman, as the replay showed. He was not only inside the line, he was way inside the line.
Well, he was on the grass, the infield grass. You see that route right there. He tries to steer it back as he gets towards first base, but just not enough.
And so Dietrich ends up back at first base. Two outs.
Rojas for 3 tonight. RBI ground out his first time up, a double his third at bat, 6th inning. Nice piece of hitting. Can't find another gap.
So not only is Talise out, but because of the way he's out, Dietrich returns to first. And here's Rojas. Rojas hits a roller up the line, and it's foul. Mike Aviles is on deck. The throw was certainly in the line, but the rule is there so that the first baseman has an area in which he could at least make an attempt for the throw.
Talise a good 4 feet inside the line.
0-1. Fastball in. Well, the Marlins have made mistakes in the field. They've had trouble getting big hits, and now a base running mistake is key. Rojas hits a ground ball in the hole at short, and the throw to second is in time to get Dietrich. And Miami comes up short again, 3-2 to the ninth. nothing to hide. By the all-new Jeep Compass. Now by your South Florida Honda dealers. Hurry into the Summerbration sales event today. 3-2, Phillies on top. 9th inning in Miami. Talise is going to stay in the game at first base.
Greg Ziegler is going to come into the ball game and pick up an inning. Maybe a little bit more. Outstanding stuff of late. Throwing the ball very, very well. The closer for the Marlins. And his ERA down to 4.61. Getting lots and lots of bad contact, as we like to say.
Cameron Rupp will lead it off. Hyung-Soo Kim came in the double switch. Is due up second. Ziegler, who works quickly. And not only bad contact, but usually gets early contact.
9 for 9 in save opportunities. This is not a save situation. He's been pitching in high leverage, being reinstated from the disabled list. There it is. 72-mile-an-hour slider. Completely fooled by the pitch. Routinely see hitters out on their front foot. Fooled by the lack of velocity. Too many pitchers left in the game where you say 70 anything. Ziegler effectively pitches without a velocity.
Here is Kim, a star in Korea. Well, Miami's bullpen has done a really nice job in this one. Despaigne 4 innings and 3 runs, and since then 4 1/3 scoreless. Ellington, Garcia, Bearclaw, and now Ziegler. Bearclaw an inning and a third. Ellington 2 innings. Garcia a couple of outs. Marlins will have 9-1-2 due up. Probably a Mike Aviles at bat to begin the inning, and then Gordon, and then Stanton. If anybody reaches, Yelich.
We'll be going up against Hector Neris, I would assume. Phillies closer.
Kim lifts it to left. Ozuna full flight there, makes the catch.
Nice running catch from Ozuna. Bat of Kim, tailing action towards the line.
That's a Bonefish catch of the game. Great fish, great cocktails, great times. Head to Bonefish Grill. Strike to Hernandez, who's 2 for 4. He doubled in the 7th. Ziegler getting over. Talise flips. Ziegler's there. Bang, bang. He's out. 3 up, 3 down. Hector Neris to the bottom of the 9th. Tomorrow night, we invite you to settle in with El Dorado Furniture and us as the Marlins and the Phillies go at it. Nick Pivetta and Dylan Peters makes his major league debut. One of the Marlins' top prospects. Pivetta the righty, Peters the lefty. Now in the ninth, the Marlins are down a run. Mike Aviles will get the first at bat as a pinch hitter, then Gordon, then Giancarlo Stanton. So the Marlins have a big bat coming up. Neris's ERA just over 3. He's given up 6 home runs this year. Stanton's got the tablet out, looking at Neris, watching the pitches, looking at previous at bats.
Fastball, slider, split finger. He throws that splitty about half the time. Slider occasionally. So basically a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball and splitty. 94 to 96. That splitty's a hard one as well. 87 to 89. It's been very good of late.
Aviles got hit. Well, that's a good start. 1 pitch and a base runner.
Splitty for a first pitch to the 9th inning. Interesting. Well, the Marlins will take it, no doubt. Aviles swinging the bat particularly well coming into tonight's ball game. Hit by a first pitch split finger fastball.
The Phillies have cracked the door open all night long for the Marlins. And the Fish, for whatever reason, have had trouble walking through. They have 2 runs. But that's it. Here's Gordon, who was 2 for 3 with a walk, and D takes a fastball out. Stanton on deck in a 1-run game in the bottom of the 9th.
As hot as anybody. 5 straight multi-hit games.
Line drive, base hit left field. Gordon's average now over 300 with that hit. Aviles at second. Gordon's at first. And here comes Stanton.
Tailing 2-seam fastball. D stays right on it. Lines it into left field. It's the 3rd hit of the night. Now 9 for his last 18, D. Gordon.
3 pitches in. The Marlins have first and second. And a man who has terrorized Major League pitching this year at the plate. 1 for 5 against Neris. That one is a home run.
I think that conversation was about the sacrifice bunt.
Ha. Tying runs at second, winning runs at first, and that's Gordon, who obviously has great speed. Outfield straight up deep. Stanton center field, didn't get it. Aviles will tag. Florimont has it. Aviles doesn't go, and the throw goes behind him to second base. Mike Aviles did not think he could get to third. Freddie Gonzalez pointing at third, wanted him there. Stanton just got under that. Here comes Yelich. That's a big 90 feet not to get.
Well, certainly is. You got to proceed with caution. If you're not 100% sure you're going to make it, you can't go. For Aviles, he clearly was not sure about getting to third base on that. Throw comes in behind.
Now Yelich. Yelich swings and misses. Runners in scoring position in Washington, D.C. The Marlins had all of 1 hit. 23 at bats.
Neris, you see when he gets in trouble where he goes. The split finger fastball. Back-to-back splitties. Christian Yelich down to his last strike.
Yelich liner left field. Kim makes a sliding catch. Young-Soo Kim came into the ball game an inning ago, and he slides and makes the catch. There's 2 outs.
Wow, do or die play for Kim. Great break, willing to go down to the knees. He misses that, this game is over. Pretty good read on it. Good first step. His ability to close. Get the heel of the glove down below the baseball. Marlins are down their last out.
Of course, that ball in the outfield, you think about Aviles at third base at that point.
Marcell Ozuna is due. He is overdue against Neris.
Pitches in. Ozuna sitting on a 2-0 pitch here.
He just better be careful. He better not give him too many looks at one or the other. Marcell Ozuna has made tremendous in-at-bat adjustments all season long.
He misses up. It's 3-0. All right, what do you do here? You green light Ozuna. You got Real Muto on deck. A walk would load the bases.
You trust him, absolutely. Absolutely trust Marcell Ozuna in this situation. If he gets a pitch to his liking, one pitch, one spot, you go for it, absolutely. No doubt. Doesn't mean he's going to swing. Certainly would want to green light him. Most consistent run producer all season long.
Aviles at second, Gordon's at first, 2 outs. Neris, the 3-0, and it's out, way out. So it's down to this. Bags are loaded. Real Muto comes up. Game on the line. Phillies lead 3-2.
It's very, very interesting. Neris, outstanding numbers against Marcell Ozuna. 0 for 11. Wanted no part of him.
Now look at these numbers, much better. JT 3 of 6. And of course, the added bonus here is a split finger in the dirt. Could tie the game. And you've got great speed at second with D. Gordon representing the winning run. Aviles at third. Ozuna is at first base.
JT 0 for 2 tonight.
Ozuna's job here is, 1, don't get picked off by the catcher, but 2, ground ball left side, get a jump and try to beat a throw to second. Real Muto against Neris. That's out. JT has been hit twice, has bounced out, struck out. That has the corner.
Neris is almost forced to throwing his fastball. That pitch out.
That is just off the corner. Big difference. 1-1 to 2-0. Outfield straight up. Real Muto went after that fastball, and Neris pumped it up to 98.
With a little elevation to go along with it. You saw up near the letters.
Does he stay fastball? Does he throw the split? 1-2. Did it hit him? Oh, goodness. It narrowly missed him.
That splitty grip, that's the pitch that got Aviles. I bet it was over the thighs and under the elbows. Little hole. Watch this little hole that always is created by a hitter. They pulled that elbow in, definitely over the thighs.
By the narrowest of margins. Count 2-2 now. And Cameron Rupp out for a visit with Neris. All night long, the Marlins have had opportunities, and it started from the very jump. The Fish have managed 2 runs. Mike Aviles, D. Gordon, Marcelo Zuna at first base. Real Muto digs back in. Two coming. Struck him out. Real Muto rung up. Brian Gorman called strike 3, and it's a strike. It's in the zone. It has the plate. It's above the knees, and Neris strikes out Real Muto to end the ball game, and a frustrating night comes to a close for the Miami Marlins. Wow.
Ample opportunity tonight. Get something done with runners in scoring position. 2 for 13 on the game. Runners on base tonight, 3 for 22. Had some opportunities they missed. Phillies able to escape with a win.
Phillies get game 1. Miami has dropped 4 in a row. Marlins Live is coming up.